And I got something else to say.
Hey, to listeners of the Joey Only Show, Shaw Spotlight TV in Victoria, British Columbia is no longer a Shaw Spotlight TV. Rogers has bought it now. It's Rogers TV for all listeners of Joey Only Show. On cable access TV is now Rogers TV. Be prepared! From Frank Down.
Well, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather we got. Wait a minute. Well, whether it's cold, whether it's hot, Frankie's got the weather, whether or not. There it is.
Good morning, Prince George, and good afternoon, Winnipeg. Hello, Kamloops, and Rogers TV. I'm going to have to get used to saying that. We're not on the Spotlight no more. No, we are now on Rogers TV. So this is the Comedeorological Report. Comedy plus meteorology equals Comedeorology. It's your show about how much the weather sucks in Canada, and suck it does indeed. The weather is funny business, and we are here to laugh about it. Comedy and meteorology together. With me is my panel of amazing people. I sit up here in the mountains in Wells, BC. And, winter goes by, not very much happens, and it's pretty slow sometimes, and Thursday nights come along, and it's our time to get on the live stream and meet with all my friends and get the group together, the Comedeorological panel. Yes, we got the world's greatest weatherman, as always, Frankie McDonald. He's out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia, and we'll talk to him first in just a couple minutes' time. And so we don't have Brandon Houck this week. Brandon, he did a 12-hour radio marathon today, and raised $40,000 for food banks.
That'd be because I'm on the radio right now, and I tend to get sexier by the time I go on the air, so that's how it works here.
He said, and he's got to do morning show tomorrow for the radio station, and then he's got to do the Brooks Bandits hockey game tomorrow night. And I said, what? We aren't important enough, Brandon? And you take the night off, buddy. So we got to know Brandon Houck to talk to us about how bad Western Canada is going to have it when the atmospheric river slams into the south coast of BC this weekend. However, we could probably talk about that a little bit ourselves. We got special guests to fill the place for Brandon this week. Well, as always, Hilding Donaldson out there in Grassy Plains, British Columbia, the cowboy himself's here. But we have Madeline.
Oh, you got it right. I go by Tasquin, though. Yeah. That's my middle name. Hi, everyone.
For some reason earlier, I said her name wrong when I was doing 6 things at once. And she's from Quesnel originally, but has been living in California for years. Is a folk singer, was up here this summer doing some business, and was here till last week and left and drove all the way back down to Oakland. I said, you know what? You probably have seen a fair bit of weather on your journey from here to there. So that's what this show's about, to talk about from here to there. And my old best friend, David Roy Parsons, down there in Vancouver, BC. Imogen Cookie Bailey, associate producer in Victoria, British Columbia. That's the panel so far. We never know who else might show up because we're crazy around here. There's no rules. Anything could happen.
Other, of course, than the weatherman, I have been told that I look like Abraham Lincoln recently with the beard. And I want to look like Drake.
But first things first, there is actually one rule, and the one rule is that right off the top of the show, we talk to the man himself out there in Sydney, Nova Scotia, the world's greatest weatherman, Frankie McDonald. How you doing so far?
I'm doing good so far. Supposed to get really cold temperatures. It's a little mild right now. Then there's a rain and snow in the forecast in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, PEI, Newfoundland on Monday. It's going to return with lots of rain in Vancouver, British Columbia, Seattle, Portland, all these places. Lots of snow in the mountains, British Columbia and Idaho. And Wyoming, those places right now. Then they got some warm air, cold air fighting each other down. And they got really humid air down state of Florida right now. And humid air trying to fight back. It's going to bring a whole lot of rain in Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas. Then it got colder weather heading for California, too. I just sent you the link about the Siberia snowstorm.
Siberia snowstorm, Frankie.
A blizzard.
A blizzard. Okay. What else? What's going on with the Vancouver's? What's going on the coast? The 350 millimeters of rain in Tofino, Frankie.
Yes, there's so much rain going on in Tofino, British Columbia as of right now.
Yeah, this weekend there's going to be an atmospheric river, one of those ARs coming in.
In Vancouver.
To the coast.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You heard it here.
All right.
So Frankie, what about the big storm coming through Ontario this weekend and through down
lots
to
of rain in Toronto and those places. Then it got lots of rain and snow in northern Ontario, southern Ontario, things like this.
What about down in America, Frankie?
Down in the States, it's supposed to get lots of rain, fighting each other. Got really lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and now Arkansas, and Georgia, Florida. Then it got a lot of rain going on down the state of Florida and things like this. As of right now, then it got some snow in Colorado and Wyoming and parts of Idaho and interior Oregon and Washington State, Northern California, things right now. Supposed to get a lot of thunderstorms and rain in Central America, including South America, including Venezuela's entering a dry season. It's going to bring lots of thunderstorms and rain in eastern Peru, eastern Ecuador, and all those places. And the coastal areas are dry because in northern Chile is really windy in the desert parts of northern Chile right now. And lots of rain and go down in southern Chile, on the coastal areas, snow up in the mountains, southern Chile. Then it got cold air, it's fighting over. But the meteorological summer starts in Argentina on December 1st. But it's cold air is not letting up in Argentina.
Fair bit of snow, Frankie. It looks like in the next 3 days, for example, 66 centimeters could fall down those mountains in Chile. The next 100 centimeters in the next 5 days, maybe, yeah. So a pretty big snowfall for the start of summer down there in those mountains. What do you got? What do you got for Australia, Frankie?
Down in southeastern Australia and down in southern Australia. And did you hear about this? And lots of thunderstorms and rain going on in southeastern Australia and hail. And thunderstorms going on in northern Australia, like Northern Territory and things like this. And they had an earthquake somewhere in the world. As of right now, in southwestern Pacific, lots of rain going on in New Zealand, North Island, South Island, New Zealand, North and South Island, New Zealand. And lots of warm air going on in New Zealand right now because their summer starts on December 21st.
Do not travel to Iceland. If anybody lives in Iceland, be prepared for major volcano.
Today's November 30th, Frankie. Tomorrow is the beginning of meteorological winter.
There's a cyclone hitting for Papua New Guinea on December 4th. Tropical cyclone. Could be aiming it towards northeastern Australia if possible. Oh my God, in Japan. Over in Japan. Really cold weather going on in Japan right now. Even cold air in Tokyo, Japan, Sapporo, Japan, Osaka, Japan, Nagano, Japan. Even up in Japan mountains are getting snow there in South Korea, North Korea, Vladivostok, Russia, and Mongolia. It's really cold there right now.
Hurricane season is over, they're saying, for the Atlantic. Although it may have ranked 4th for the most named storms in a year, Frankie.
Yes, it's really cold in England right now. And it's snow and forecast up in Scotland, England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland right now. And there's a lot of rain and snow in Italy right now. Lots of rain showers and snow. And lots of snow up in the north of Italy and parts of France and things like this. In Germany, they're getting snow there right now. Then they got lots of storms, one storm right after another, heading for United Kingdom next week. And England's getting a lot of rain and wind and snow in the mountains and things like this. And then they got some cooler air heading for Libya and things like this. Then they got some showers in Spain and rain in Spain as well.
Spain rain.
Over in
Spain rain.
Yakutia. And I sent you guys a video about the big blizzard in Yakutia, according to Kirill backing off. Off Russia.
Yeah, you didn't make much for videos this week, did you, Frankie?
No, that guy trying to stand up in the blizzard.
How come you didn't make videos this week? It got really windy and cold in Sydney area. 26-second long video, a 29-second long video. That's all you put out this week, Frankie.
Yes.
It's really windy and rainy in Sydney, Nova Scotia, where I'm at right now. Winds are really high right now. They're lasting for quite a few hours now. Wind is still really high in my area, Sydney, Nova Scotia. It's raining and it's windy as of right now in my hometown in Sydney, Nova Scotia. It's really windy and wind's howling. It's a high wind gust where I'm at right now. But be very careful as of right now for Frank Down.
Were you too busy doing the karaoke or going to games or seeing Santa Claus? What were you doing?
I saw Santa Claus and things like this.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
Yeah.
Because I lived in Sydney, Australia for 6 years, and I remember the hail there being no joke. Like, you got to go inside because you get these huge, people would have insurance claims on their car all the time because of these huge, like, baseballs falling from the air. But does anybody know why hail gets that big, or what it is about the east coast of Australia that
they get a lot of hail. That's where Andy Darwin is at, a musician from southeastern Australia. They get large hail in Australia
Why do they get such large hail in Australia, Frankie?
because of the weather and because of the areas come all the way from south of Australia, like the moisture.
You get the cool air and the dry, and you get the moisture, and it just has that way. It's so dry that you get some of that moisture in that part of Australia. It just really launches things convectively high up into the sky, doesn't it?
Mm.
And then so you get these little chunks, and they're floating around, they're hitting each other and sticking together and getting bigger.
Yeah.
The water, when the water droplets are coming down, it's a warm thermal that kind of pushes them back up, so they kind of slingshot back up. But then as they come down, they freeze over again. So as they come down, they hit that warm pocket. They get that
And I just sent you the link, a link to the video. It's like the Korea big blizzard in Yakutsk.
As they come down again, that softened, wet outer part of the new tiny little hail, it's wet, it refreezes, it gets slingshot back up from the warm pocket.
I forgot about the Africa. And I got something else to say. Wait a minute. On the forecast, I forgot about Africa and India. That means India is supposed to be lots of rain and showers going on in India right now. And there's a cyclone hitting for eastern India on December 4th. And things like this in Bangladesh is going to bring lots of rain and thunderstorms right now. In Bangkok, Thailand, it's getting a dry season. Indonesia is in the rainy season right now. And there are places like in Africa and like over in Africa somewhere, like Nigeria and things like this. Their rainy season came to an end, like Nigeria and Ghana, those places. And for other places in Africa, as for right now in southern Africa, weather going on, lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Zimbabwe, Zambia, Congo, DR Congo, Gabon and Uganda and all these places. And lots of rain and thunderstorms going on in Mozambique, Madagascar, and La Réunion and Mauritius Islands. It's getting really, really hot in South Africa right now. So it's really, really, really hot going on in South Africa right now. And the places over in the Middle East and those places, and like in Israel and those countries. Israel's getting cool, a little bit cooler right now. Then it got some hot weather and cold air fighting each other in Israel next week too.
To go back to that hailstorm frequency in Australia, some studies are saying that large hailstorms are up 40%.
According to the government in Australia, or according to the weather service in Australia, that means they have to go inside when the hail happens.
Otherwise, you could get your brain knocked
Knocked
in.
out.
Okay, well, I got Frankie's video here. Let's have a quick look at it. And I'll even share sound. This is where Kirill lives, though. My goodness. Why would anyone want to live in Siberia? Is that music always playing there, Jake? It's like go outside, it's like epic music. No.
Can't hear you that well right now, Joey, with the video sound.
Is it always like that in
Siberia, because it's really, really bad there right now. Blowing snow, zero visibility.
even that music? Is that music always on too? You go
It's
outside,
always
it's just,
on.
just
Yeah.
snowing and music marching.
Yeah.
Soviet era.
Actually, children in Siberia, a lot of people don't know this, are born with a full snowsuit on.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That Kirill
Biological.
backing off, post that video. He lives in Sarov. Kirill backing off is another weatherman.
We should get him on the show sometime, Frankie. But I know it's hard for people on the other side of the world. I get that. Because
He might be sleeping.
well, I mean, yeah, it's hard for us to arrange it across Canada in a time. Like Frankie, it's like midnight where Frankie is.
It's midnight. It's Rio de Janeiro, Brazil.
So if it was earlier, Frankie wouldn't even be home. He'd be out stealing Wi-Fi at A&W.
I'm on Compound Media Monday to Thursday afternoons.
That's good, and we'll do Kins and Klomp this week too, eh, Frank?
Yes, this Wednesday coming at 8 p.m. Atlantic, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, I'm there. Let's move on. Stay with us, Frankie. Unless anyone's got questions for Frankie. Anyone got questions for Frankie about the weather?
Yeah.
Where do babies come from?
That means that animals come from an egg, like It's like chickens and things like this.
I thought eggs came from chickens.
Which came first? The
God,
chicken?
the God is the creator of the universe.
So, let's see if we got shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart. Oh boy! Oh, what is that? That's it was a shopping cart. And shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart, shopping cart. Oh boy! Oh boy! What's a caribou to do on a day like today? If you leave your antlers somewhere, can I find them? If they fall off, let me know where they fall off. That'd be awesome. What do we have on the highway here today?
Oh my gosh. Got a couple of moose.
Yeah, you big guys.
Oh, that's so cool.
A boy and his girlfriend. Yeah, what do you guys think? Freaked out by humans looking at you? Alright, here comes a car. Madeline Taskin.
Yo.
You. And then give us a little just explanation of the difference between going from Wells, BC, 4,000 feet up at 53 degrees north in the Caribou Mountains to Oakland, the home of the most pathetic baseball team.
The A's?
Yeah.
Cool, I knew a sports thing. Sure, yeah, I don't have no clue.
Anyway.
I just smile and nod when people start talking sports, you know? Yeah. Yeah, geez. That was definitely, well, when you invited me to come on the show today, I was like, what the hell am I going to talk about? And then I realized, wait a minute, I've been, like you said, at elevation all the way down to sea level, also like inland to the coast. And what's this one called? Latitude. In the space of under a week. I think it was 4 or 5 days. So yeah, it was, I think the wildest part of the journey was just noticing how hard the humidity hit me. When I opened my door at my mom's place in Tawas and like opened the car door after driving for 7 hours from up north, and just like, it was a lot colder temperature wise, but it felt a lot colder experience wise. So that's my like one meteorological commentary. But other than that, I had no moisture whatsoever going all the way from Wells all the way down to Oakland, California. It was beautiful weather. Really lucky.
What's
really clear, actually.
What's the temperature like there right now?
It's definitely over 0 degrees Celsius. I don't know. I've lived in Australia, Canada, and the States, and I don't know Fahrenheit to Celsius anymore. I'm all a jumble, but I'm gonna go.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't
something like 12 degrees.
We don't use Fahrenheit anymore because we're not animals.
Yeah, and it don't make any damn sense if you ask me. But yeah, it's definitely above freezing all the time here. So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna guess 12 to 15 degrees. That's my official opinion. And I love that you called me a folk musician, because sometimes I really overthink how to describe my music. I wouldn't call it folk, but folk has that beautiful, all-encompassing, I don't know how the fuck to answer that question, so I'm just gonna say folk.
Well, everyone wants to be also so genre specific, right?
Yeah.
It's
just let me play what I want to play, man. That's
what kind of it's you have to have 4 subtitles to describe what kind of punk rocker you are or something, right? It's folk music's like that, and it's bluegrass isn't. Bluegrass is that's not bluegrass. There is or it isn't, which is very fascistic, and I hate bluegrass for that, even though it's beautiful sounding music. But there's rules, and I'm not really into their rules.
Mm-hmm. It's fun to drop in on a session though and do the rules for a minute.
Yeah, well, I like.
It's gotta go really fast.
Most of those rules were part of how I like to play music, anyways. Mm-hmm. Back in my time playing music, right, David?
Mm-hmm.
I like to have that bluegrassy feel, but it's But if you wait a second, that's not bluegrass unless you stand a certain way and have a mic over here that you all sing into. You know, it's like, and people are like, what are you, outlaw country punk, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Well, it's kind of part of the bigger, the commodification of music, and it has to be a product, and everybody thinks you either got it or you don't, when in reality, every human, in my strong belief, has the capacity to, like, we're made of space, basically, mostly. So, of course, vibrations, are going to affect us, and music feels good to people, and everybody thinks like you're either born with it or you aren't, and that's absolute crap. So
Did you hear about the Autobahn in Germany? How fast people drive on the Autobahn?
Yeah.
yes, I've been on the Autobahn. It was
Dude.
terrifying, and I got car sick. It was horrible.
I
How
just
fast people
remember
drive
seeing
on
some
it.
crazy people. Yeah. Yeah. Like unbelievably fast, right? Like, wow. But anyway.
There's no speed limit.
Yeah. Yeah.
what happens, Frankie, if someone goes 299,792, 4,458 meters per second on the Autobahn, Frankie?
You go.
Yeah, they go the speed of light.
They,
What happens
they
if you
do
go
have a
above
slow
speed light?
lane. Yeah.
You don't go in the slow lane, yeah, if you're going the speed of light.
Yeah.
What happens if somebody drives 999 bazillion miles per hour on the Autobahn?
That might rupture space-time fabric, Frankie.
Yeah, I think that's
All
a
things as we know
singularity.
it might cease to exist.
Don't create a singularity in the slow lane.
Yeah.
Slow lanes for 18-wheelers.
Yeah, if someone goes 900 billion kilometers an hour, they'll unleash a paradox that will melt space-time.
18-wheelers are on the slow lane on the Autobahn.
I wish they'd be in the slow lane everywhere.
18-wheelers, what does that mean?
Means they got 18 wheels. That's a trucking talk there, Frankie.
With a container in the back.
I'm a truck driving son of a gun. That's the kind of music.
Pronunciation.
That was sort of my brand of country. You know.
Outlaw country.
Yeah, I guess so. Trucking country. Like, what kind of country music you play? Like trucking country. The trucking
You
kind.
country.
Trucking kind. 6 days on the road and I'm gonna make it home tonight. You know, that kind of country.
Oh yeah. Everyone's looking. Looks like it's here. Hey guys, let's get going.
Yeah.
So, Hilding, David Roy Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've already started this stuff. So, in your life as musicians, tell me about some of the weather stories that have happened in your life as a musician.
Okay. Well, I used to bust in -20 and
Ottawa.
of it. Well, not that I thought nothing of it. Actually, sometimes because of the weather, you'd make lots of money fast because they felt sorry for you or something. So that, you know.
They can see that you feel sorry for yourself.
Well, no, you don't look that way when you're singing. You know, not when you're singing. Well, maybe if you're singing Bruce Springsteen, you might look more, seem mournful. I don't know. Yeah, sometimes, you know, you can seem mournful when you're singing too. Sure, it depends.
When you're singing Buffy St. Marie songs. What about you, Hilding? Talk to me about being at a festival and some random weather thing happens.
Well, I can say that in the 12 years that I've been on the committee at the music festival in Robson Valley, there's been 2 summers that we didn't have rain. And yet it seems like rain at a festival affects you totally different than it does in any other part of your life. Everybody loves to dance in the rain. It's a funny thing. Everybody's walking around. Who cares what you have on your feet? You're just enjoying yourself.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
That's what I like
What do you mean
about
by
music and
everybody? Rewind to that part where you said everybody. I don't recall enjoying that.
The festival organizers probably aren't enjoying it.
Oh, that's usually when I'm like sitting in the sound booth with Brian, being like, "Hey, buddy, hey, thought I'd come hang out here because it's not
Yeah.
raining.
Uh-huh.
Love you, dude. How's it going?" Yeah, that's generally one of my favorite things. Happened at Robson Valley Music Festival. So I just split up with the ex-wife, so that was great. And then I had the kids, and we stayed at Rod and Deb's little cabin farm out there, a couple kilometers from the festival grounds. And it was getting dark, and the Perside meteor shower was going on because that's the festival's usually around that August 12th weekend. Perside meteor showers going on, but there was Northern Lights, Frankie. There was Northern Lights.
Northern Lights is somewhere in northern Canada. Then they got the total solar eclipse heading right for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Monday, April 8th, 2024. All you guys will be heading for Sydney, Nova Scotia on Friday, April 5th, 2024.
Now just imagine this, Frankie. The most beautiful epic mountains and shooting stars and Northern Lights. And there was one more thing, though. There was lightning storm sitting on top of a couple of the mountains down the valley, throwing out bolts of lightning with the aurora behind it and shooting stars going past the light. It was like, and I had my little girl was like 4 years old. We were like watching it together. And it's just, man, that was like, that was one of those visuals I just cannot find very often in planet Earth. It was so spectacular.
Yeah.
Hey, Joey, who's heading for Sydney on Monday, April 8th, 2024?
I'm coming to your house, Frankie.
At the Holiday Inn Hotel.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
There's meteor showers in December, isn't there?
There is the meteor shower in December. What's that one called? It's not the Leonids, is it?
Sorry.
The Geminids.
The Geminids.
Okay. Yeah. Leaking on December 14th.
And I always remember that one because December 14th is my mother's birthday. And that's about the time the Geminids. So much like the Perseids. You know, the Perseids, they say it's August 12th the peak. But I mean, you can go out on August 20th and see a ton of fireballs flying off, right?
Yeah,
it could be the 5th of August and you'll see a ton of friggin'. So, like, what they call the peak, I mean, yeah, maybe there's a peak period, but it's not like. Yeah. It's not like there has to be that day or you miss the show, right? Like,
yeah. I have a very vivid memory of watching the meteor shower, and I think it must have been the August one when I was about 10 with the Patnod sisters in Horsefly, and we slept outside with tarps on us.
That is totally cool.
Yeah, that was good. That was an Island Mountain of the Arts summer. I just remembered a weather story from tour that your story reminded me of. We were in the Sawtooth Mountains in Idaho. I think it's called the Sawtooth Music Festival.
Okay.
And we had our set time, and they said, oh, you know, there's a forecast for an electrical storm, and they kind of come up pretty quickly here. And this festival was in this beautiful valley, Ketchum, Idaho, and like massive, beautiful Sawtooth Mountains right behind the stage. So you're watching the band, and you know there's this huge mountain range behind us. So anyway, we're all set up, and I think halfway through the first song of this like prog rock band I was in for 4 years, this shower comes, and all of a sudden stage managers or this like electrical storm is apparently coming from over the mountains, and all these stage managers are yelling, "Get off the stage, you're gonna get electrocuted!" I'm like, run! Now, my bass player and my guitarist both had the foresight to like cover their gear before they left the stage. I was like, I don't want to die. And I ran and left my keyboard totally set up. and there was a rain thing right over, and I swear that it was like blue skies, and then all of a sudden this lightning storm came out of nowhere in 30 seconds or something. It was like really quick. And so, you know, those black rain, like the shade cloth things, they're not for rain at all. That's what they had above the stage. And that thing pooled with rain so quickly, and guess where it dripped? Right down into my keyboard. So like I think like 12 or 15 minutes later, the storm was over and I had a totally fried Nord Electro. And then like 5 minutes later, somehow, yay, humanity and festivals, all of a sudden there was a new keyboard, and they like said, we're going to give you we're going to extend the set. The next band's happy to play a bit shorter. And all of a sudden we had a set, and everybody was just like, all of a sudden now like covered in mud, and it just made the show so much better. So Hilding, I'm with you on that festival. Like rain and festivals is a whole different thing. And my keyboard survived. There you go. That was my story.
Came back from a band practice once, and then I got into drinking. You know, back then I used to drink a lot back then, and forgot to take my gear out of the back of the truck and all that. And then I woke up and it's like pounding rain in the morning, just pounding. I'm like, I was like, good thing I got everything out of the truck last night. And I like get up and I look out my upper window down, and I see like my Fishman acoustic electric amp. You know, it's just getting
in a pool,
just getting rained on. So what you do, I have a big dehydrator unit. Like its purpose is to dehydrate food, right? But it's big enough, this thing, that I could put my amp inside of it, and I put it in there for 3 days and dehydrated it, and then I plugged it back. I plugged it in, and it worked just fine. So what you don't want to do is ever turn it on while it's wet. As long as you can get it really dry, you have a chance. So then I lost a cell phone, iPhone, old iPhone, up on top of Isle Mountain will fall in trees, and it was a snow up to here. I'm like,
it's gone. Yeah.
I looked, and it's getting dark, and it's not. So 6 months later goes by, and I went off logging in Clearwater that spring, and it was all over. I was gone from Wells for quite a while, and I came back, and the heat dome happened. It was like 6 days of crazy heat going on. And at the end of it, I was like, I bet you if that phone's up there still, it's dried right out and it's going to work just fine. So I went up to my Isle Mountain, and I walked straight to the phone. It's like, there it is. Nice. Got home, plugged it in, and it worked for, it's actually, this is it. It's not the one I use anymore. I had it for a different reason out and plugged in recently to get some things off of it. But it was functioning fairly normally again. So, Imogen, we haven't said anything to you yet. How's things down there? How's things down there in Victoria this week? And how's calendars going along? And talk to us about Rogers TV.
There's not a whole lot that I have to say about Rogers, but Rogers has bought up Shaw or merged or whatever. So we now answer to Rogers TV. That's our new overlord. So hello. Hello, Rogers. Thank you for not canceling us.
Hey, hey, Rogers.
Yeah, hey, Rogers.
We're your awesome show.
One of the
weather.
Hey, everybody. Let's say hi, Joey only. Say hi, Joey only.
Hi, Joey.
I'm Frank Adon. You're listening to Comedeorology Weather Report every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. Joey Only's a great guy. He does his weather forecasting, fights fires in Wales, British Columbia. He used to work for Vancouver Giants and Western Hockey League. I'm on his podcast every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic. It's on the Caribou Weather Duel YouTube channel. It's on CI4 at 88.7 FM, Prince George, and CKUW 95.9 FM in Winnipeg, and CFBX 92.5 FM in Kamloops. It's on Rogers TV in Victoria, British Columbia, and Vancouver Island. And Joey Only's a really nice guy. He fights fires in Wales, British Columbia. I'm on this podcast every Thursday night on Joey Only Caribou Weather Duel YouTube channel. You have to check him out every Thursday night on Caribou Weather Duel Joey Only YouTube channel. I'm on this podcast every Thursday night. Say the best luck to you. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Joey Only show every Thursday night. Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi.
Say hi, Joey Only.
Hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey Only. Joey only.
Don't own?
Joey only.
Oh, okay.
Say hi, Joey only.
Joey only.
One of the cool things about what's happening in Tofino with their crazy rainfall is that Tofino is legendary for their beaches. It's like one of the it's frequently listed as one of the best surfing spots in the whole world because of the massive expanse. And if you've never been there, it's absolutely surreal. Like to walk on the beach and see nothing but an area that looks like an alien planet with steam coming out of the sand and just miles of white sand and ocean and blue sky. It's also a fantastic place for storm chasing or storm watching or whatever. It's a part of Tofino's tourism is that they actually have that. You can rent an Airbnb, you can rent a cottage, whatever. You can plan little packages to just go out in horrific weather and possibly get hit by lightning if you play it right. This is the magic of Tofino. So storm weather is really good for them, for weirdos like us who want to go up there and just do a little poking around, camp out on the beach.
So this here is snowfall projections for the next 10 days. So we'll just take a look at this quickly. Yeah, I got to move your heads. You kind of put you over here. Yeah, never mind.
What are you talking
so
about?
Here's,
Don't move my head. I like
I
it when
everybody move your head.
Attached.
I moved your head.
Mine stays attached. Good luck catching
New
me.
snow in the coast mountains, so up to maybe 2 meters. Middle of Vancouver Island, 71 centimeters. Rockies, 50, 60 centimeters. And some of the Rockies, 80 up down there. So some of the mountain passes where you can be driving through. Some of the 50, maybe Paulson Summit, could see some Coquihalla. Yeah, we're looking at, so the next 10 days, well, the next 5 days, what do we got? So definitely, next 3 days, less. So the next 3 to 5 days for the interior is when this stuff that's coming to the coast is going to break in. Have a look for a second at rain accumulation, and you see there's some big time rainfall numbers going on next 3 days. Well, what's the next 5 days? Whoa, wait a second. 189 millimeters. That is craziness. Next 10 days, what do we got? It went down. 136. Okay, yeah, I'm having trouble. 187 mils in places. North Shore, Vancouver Island, 170. So that's in the next 5 days when that atmospheric river hits, right? So that's what we're really looking at. Yeah, for everybody. Let me just play
Can
this
I ask
out.
a meteorology noob question that maybe others out there are perhaps thinking?
Yes.
Yes.
Please do.
This has always messed with my brain, but I've never looked it up. So maybe you guys can answer this question. So what does 100 millimeters, for example, what does that mean? Is it do they have like a little bowl somewhere that they put? Like, what does that actually mean?
It's like a test tube. It's like a test tube.
It's a test tube. Okay.
It's basically like, when it says in your recipe, add 100 millimeters of milk, and then you take your little bucket out and you measure 100 millimeters of milk. So you just imagine it's like, instead of your little measuring cup, it's a test tube shaped thing instead. But
that doesn't explain what the convention is, right? Because I hear 100 millimeters, for example, and I hear, does that mean that 100 millimeters is covering is there 10 centimeters of rain everywhere? Yes. Okay. So if there was a test tube on a 1 millimeter diameter test tube or something, then 100 mil, I don't. Yeah.
So that's the point at which we are measuring there, right? So it's like you could say at this location at this time, between such and such hours, this much rain fell. So we might have on a fire line, we might have 1 or 2 of those set up in different places, but usually there's just one that's staging, and so we're looking at the rainfall total from last night. It's like, well, look, 5 mils fell, it says. And I'm like, dude, up on the mountain yesterday when that thunderstorm hit, 50 mils came down. So now, the localization, you have to have more measuring points. So it doesn't mean 100 mils everywhere, but it could mean that.
It still doesn't. There must be some convention, like it's over a square centimeter, because if the test tube is this big diameter, does anybody share my Right.
But yes, it's a narrow.
And
Two.
I got news Gabriel Bernal might join for a bit. That's what he said.
That would be cool. We haven't seen Gabriel in so long. Oh yeah, tell him to come on. Yes. Tell him to come in. We'd love that. So looking at this weekend, here's Gabriel, the rapping weatherman. We got all the music people here today, man. We haven't seen the rapping weatherman in
Started
so
choir.
long. So here we go. A little bit of snowfall coming in through Friday overnight. So maybe we'll see a little bit of that here in the Caribou. That's how it's looking for BC. And you're going to see that atmospheric river really show up. So this big old low here, it's going to drag all this moisture into one big long line here in a minute. Slower than I would like. I wish it would run through the model quickly. Zoom. That's what I like. What's the name of that site? There's another weather site that I sometimes use.
Which one are you talking about?
VentuSky. Hey, Gabriel Berardo.
Hello. How's it
Rapping
going,
weatherman. How's it going, bro?
Yeah, good. Man. I've been okay, man.
So I got
I've been okay. Leafs
we
won
got
today. It's good.
singer-songwriters, David Parson and Madeline Tasquin, and we got singer-songwriter Hilding, and we got hip-hop
Hello, guys.
weather rapper Gabriel Berardo. I'm not on Twitter. I got off. They're like, it's changing to X. I'm like, see ya.
I know. I'm like, yo, like, what the hell's up with that now? Like, right?
It's like, remember how
right,
MySpace was super cool for a long time? You probably wouldn't remember that, but there was a time where
I
MySpace was the best thing for musicians, man. It was awesome. And you know what they did? They kept messing with it and changing it and until it just look at this atmospheric river. Oh my God.
Oh,
I
yeah,
still miss
yeah, no.
Tom.
You guys get that.
MySpace Tom, I miss him. He was cool. He was good people. MySpace Tom, he still exists.
I'm a
if
huge
not
fan
only
of
in
the
our
guy.
memories.
I got it. On MySpace, I was Jake the Snake Roberts' top friend. Like, I was on his top friends. Jake the Snake, man.
I met her in person back on July 13th, 2023.
It turns out that Jake the Snake likes outlaw country music that's like, political and angry. He was cool with the Outlaw Band.
I met Jake the Snake, RTJ Jake the Snake, down at the Making Waves concert at Wentworth Park on July 13th, 2023.
Jake the Snake is awesome, right, Imogen?
Sure, why not? Anyone who calls himself that is got to be at least interesting.
Well, you're a wrestling kind of person. Like, aren't you a Jake the Snake
True.
Roberts fan?
I have an appreciation for some of the old school wrestlers, that's for sure. All right, the lights have just gone down. We're coming back from intermission at 365 Pro Wrestling. They run a wrestling academy somewhere around here. I don't bloody well know. Anyhow, the weather outside is horrific, icy, 0 degrees, things are freezing over, and everyone here is knackered.
962 low. Oh my God! So
when's
looking
that,
at this.
Joey?
We're just looking at this. Is coming next week. This is the atmospheric river coming to BC, and look at it, man. This is, that's craziness. Right? And we got another one on this coast. It's like,
are you gonna share your screen, Joey?
Are you able to see it?
I am not, but maybe everybody else is.
No, I can't see it. I have my phone, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have a laptop right now.
That's crazy because it says I am screen sharing, and I imagine.
Can anyone else see it?
I imagine
I don't
the
see a
audience
screen.
is seeing it. Crazy.
Yeah, you were screen sharing. It was there.
Oh, nice.
Your map was there.
Seeing it.
Oh wait. Oh no. Sorry.
I turned it off for now because I want to talk to our friend Gabriel Berardo. Actually, one more thing I want to show you for anybody who's. Can you see the screen now?
Now we can see it. Yep.
That's weird because it was on the whole time before. Northern Lights possibility tonight. A little bit of a solar storm going on. So
nice.
Gabriel Berardo down there in Southern Ontario. How goes the game?
Sir.
What you been up to, bro?
Okay. Well, first of all, the Leafs. They're okay recently, like they're not bad, but like they're they're okay, because they won last night. They won tonight.
I'm complaining. I'll tell you why. Because every time they play on a Thursday night, GB, this is what happens. They're leading
They lose.
3-1.
They lose. Really.
They're leading 3-1. I'm like,
Oh,
good.
no.
I'm about to start my show, so that's cool. I can turn off the hockey game now and not think about it.
Curse.
There's 5 minutes left. Oh no, it's 3-3, and I have to do my
Oh, no.
show now. And I turn the game
See?
off. At least they win in overtime, but I didn't. But it's like, could they just not once? I'm like, when it's 5 minutes before the game ends and it's 5 minutes before my show starts, I'm like, you know what? They're winning 3-1.
I understand, Joey.
I can
The
turn it
curse-
off because they're gonna win 3-1.
Yes. Yes.
Just one Thursday. I would like that.
I know, and I think that is a curse of your show. I think your show is cursed, and it's making the Leafs lose because
No,
they know
win
you're not watching.
They win a lot of those games, but they blow the lead, and it's like, don't
I
blow
know.
the lead right before
I
have
know, like it's frustrating, man. I was watching
to.
it.
I
I
thought the
was like,
game was
what?
in the bag. So,
I
you got
know,
any
right?
new-
I was like, yo.
You got any new
Yeah.
rhymes for us lately? What's been going on? You've been
Well,
spitting them out or what?
not like as in lately. I think I like just sort of, like I'm in here, I have my headphones in right now, so I can't really do it right now. But like, yeah, I mean, I haven't really been on that like as much as I used to recently, and I should. Maybe the next show I will give you guys like 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 a lot of that, but yeah,
The spirit moves.
yeah, it's,
You know what we got to
Yeah.
do, Madeline? Is like,
Yo.
sometime when you're like in Wells, and like David and Hildy, and it's like, and we'll be like, GB, get out of Southern Ontario. It's terrible down there. And then he comes out and we help this kid make his first hip hop album. And we lay
Yeah.
down some
Yeah.
fat bass lines. I get some sick drum licks in there.
I'll fart with my armpits.
I could sure use that. You start with your armpit. Okay,
we got to
alright.
get this kid into a studio and get you a single at least, man.
I know,
Because he got skills.
Go.
I mean, yeah, right. Like, right? What? I'm not. No, I mean, I'm not gonna go rap right now. But like, when was the last time I did rap on the show? Like, I think it was a few
It's
months
been
ago.
like
and I
6
just kept
months,
going.
dude. It's been 6 months.
No, it hasn't. It hasn't been 6 months.
Yes,
There's
it
no
has.
way.
I forgot who the microphone assassin was. It's been that long.
Yeah, I know, right? And I just kept on like, I'm like fast at it too, and I just kept going at it too. Like, oh my god, guys, you guys, oh my gosh, I just kept going at that one too. I just kept going.
That was.
I didn't take a breath. But anyways, yeah, right.
Well, Gabriel, if you don't do it, then somebody else is gonna self-select to do some rhymes, and that's probably, speaking for myself, a really bad idea.
Do some rhymes, man.
Like,
You can do
yeah,
it. You can do it, Maddie.
spit a fat rhyme. No, yeah, no, I'll embarrass myself.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know if I should or not. Should I or no?
Of course. I thought I had one of your raps.
I need to upload a beat. I need to go get
I thought I had
like
one
a
of your
beat, and
raps saved, but I guess I don't now.
I thought that I did too. I had a few of them saved. I don't know where they went because I have like a few, because I have like a lot of freaking like a lot of stuff that I have in my I mean the thing. So I don't really have them thing right saved or whatever.
The only Gabriel video I have right now is in my Comedeorological file is this one. You guys see this?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Other, of course, than the weatherman, I have been told that I look like Abraham Lincoln recently with the beard, and I want to look like Drake. I remember that. I remember that. Oh my god! But that was so long ago too. But oh my god,
That
was,
clip
way
is
up
still
to
gold, man.
Yeah, that was me. I was giving you a hard time about that one because you're really going in.
I know.
Lincoln.
I know
was
you
bugging you about your stovepipe hat and yeah.
Everybody was though. Everybody was. It wasn't only you. It was my family. It was people in my work. I was like, do I really look like Abraham Lincoln or
yeah, you
or
did.
Like
you started looking Amish, man. I was
Paris.
at the damn bar. You got real Amish with it. I was
Amish.
impressed.
I know, right?
Yeah, I was
It's got like
it was
working.
working.
I know.
I don't think anyone's ever made like Hutterite hip hop. Like it could be pretty cool,
I once got Osama bin Laden.
Hutterites.
I don't look like Osama with that, right? Yeah, I know it's weird. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, like I had like a weird sort of like, look there, to be honest. I don't know why I was so like long my beard, I mean, I look like Osama. Some people said apparently. I don't think I did look like Osama bin Laden. They also like,
Not nearly as
and
much as Abraham Lincoln.
yeah, I know, not nearly as much, but it was pretty close. I mean, if it was like,
It
like a little
wasn't.
bit longer.
A lot longer. It had to be
I
a
know.
lot longer. You were not going
Okay,
in
so,
for
like,
your Osama. You were.
Because like, if it was a lot longer, I would look like Osama.
Yeah, like 6 inches, man. You need like another 6
Yeah,
inches before
yeah.
that. You were nowhere near that. Like,
Yeah, and
you
I
were
mean,
nowhere near that. It
I
was
don't
like
want to be
2
blowing
inches
up
long.
on the stream. I don't want to be blowing up on your show, Joey's.
It's
Oh,
it's so crazy that Brandon doesn't show up and then everyone else shows up. It's like, has Brandon Houck been taking
But-
up too much space?
But then I show up. I meant to replace him, I guess, right? I don't know, I guess.
No, he's irreplaceable. That's why we needed so many friends to
He
show
is
up.
irreplaceable.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. So we do miss you
Yeah.
tonight, Brandon. And yeah, good job on raising $40,000. Oh my
Yeah.
God! And guess who else is showing up tonight? This is a special show. This is officially a special show, and Brandon's gonna be so sad he wasn't here. This is officially
Oh no,
a
it's just
special
over.
show, Joe.
What is your favorite temperature? What is the
Mine
perfect
is
temperature?
180 degrees.
To go.
Would you say that they're breeding like rabbits?
I would say both literally and figuratively. I think you can say
Honk.
that's my kind of goose.
Oh,
With a polar, you play dead. No, polar bears eat dead things.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Joe.
Joe.
Hey, Joe, you have returned.
I have returned. Yes, sir, Mr. Frankie.
I'm so happy to see you, man. How was polar bear season? How was the blizzard? How was the crazy cold weather in Churchill? Everybody, Madeline, Taskin, and David Roy Parsons, and of course, Gabriel and Frankie and Hilding and Imogen. This is Joe Stover, the legend
Hey,
himself,
Joe.
from the Times Change High and Lonesome Club Pub to
Nice.
the Great White North.
Nice to see you all again. Absolutely. It's been a long time. Yeah, bear season was nuts. This whole past year was nuts, right? You didn't really see too much of me as my girlfriend and I got a house that was foreclosed on, so it was a lot of work to get done. And then that led, the second we finished that, it was polar bear tourism season, not polar bear hunting season. I have to make sure that I let people know that they're different.
Well, you're hunting them. You're just not killing them.
That's right. We're with people to
With your
hunt them.
eyes.
That's right, and we shoot them with our cameras.
Damn.
What?
But it was wild. It was we had a lot of people through. I think something like 9,000-10,000 people through in about 6 weeks. So it was pretty wild. It really was. We had lots of good bear sightings, and the weather was interesting. We had lots of unseasonable weeks. The Hudson Bay itself was about 4 degrees warmer than normal, which meant that there was some worries about the ice freezing on time for the bears to get back on there so that they could eat their seals and whatnot. But looks more or less kind of third week of November is when that ice finally tightened up, and all the bears are gone now. They're all out in the Hudson Bay ice, eating seals for the next 8 months or so.
Living the good life.
It's crazy good
That
to
makes
see
sense.
you, Joe.
That makes sense to me. Yeah,
Crazy good to see you, Joe. It's late in the show, but how do you do reviews? Still going on CKW?
You betcha. I had to take a bear season break, but I had a lot of really cool fill-in hosts that helped me out. But yeah, I'm back on the air now regularly, and that's right here on CKUW 95.9 FM every Friday evenings at 6. I love sharing the airwaves with legendary shows as this, though, Joey. That's for sure.
Dude, I love having you on, and I still haven't been on your show Someday.
It's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen.
You have your own show. I didn't see that yet.
You've been
Man,
hearing us
bro,
on.
Oh my god.
You've been hearing us on CKW, where you've been hearing Joe's show over show, and you've been hearing us on CFUR 95, 95, 89, 88.7 FM CFUR, and 92.5 FM CFBX, and Rogers TV now. We're on Rogers TV now, Joe.
I
First
love
time
it.
ever.
Hello, Rogers TV.
Hi, Rogers. We like your baseball team.
What's the channel?
This
Like,
on
what's the channel?
Victoria British in Victoria British Columbia. It's on the same channel numbers was Shaw Spotlight TV was.
It's just
Okay.
different now, right, Frankie?
Mhm.
So,
Joey, are some of these links? Because I'd love to check out everybody's projects and music
Yes.
and all the
I was
things. Are you
gonna
going to
get
put
to
that in
that
the description?
because-
Okay.
because we're gonna have Frankie rattle off all his sites in a second.
I got a mine in the
So-
chat for you if you want.
If you
So,
Sorry.
before you do, Frankie, so let's go through this because we got a bunch of talent here. So, Image Cookie Bailey is making these new calendars. Talk about that quickly because they're cool.
I guess so. That's perspective, but yes. Yeah, I have a 2024 wall calendar out now, and it's pretty much all pin-up and modeling adventures and all sorts of stuff from Tofino, Mill Bay, Miami. I went all over the place doing a lot of photos, a lot of adventures, and a lot of fun. A lot of beaches. The world has some amazing beaches, so getting to hang out on and do that and do the thing I love doing and then put it all together. A lot of work went into it. Information for it is on my website, www.imogen.in. So yeah, they're available. If you want to check them out, that is where to go to take a look.
And
So-
it's extremely relevant because a lot of those beach bikini pictures, you're out in the weather. The How Do You Do review.podbean.com is where you'll find Joe Stover, our man. And Maddie, what's your handle on the internet?
I do have a website, but I'd love to direct people to my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to that magic 1,000 subscriber number. I think I'm at 635. So yeah, people can look me up. Madeline, spelled Madeline, Madeline Tasquin, Tasquin, on YouTube. And yeah, two Christmas album collaborations that I made with my friend Chelsea when we discovered we had a shared love of Christmas music. So you can find those somewhere on YouTube and everywhere else. That's all I can think to plug right now. Boom.
At Gabriel Berardo on the X, and I
Yeah.
don't know if Holding has a specific site
Instagram,
or
actually,
Parsons
sorry.
do, but
Instagram.
on the Instagram.
Yeah, on the
Gabriel
Instagram.
Berardo. At
And
Gabriel
what,
Berardo.
and
On the
Joey,
X.
what
Yes,
about me?
Frankie. Now
If
let's
you wanna-
do Frankie.
If you want to follow me on social media, my link tree is Frankie McDonald. My Twitter, now X, is Frankie McD. My Blue Sky is at Frankie McD. My Facebook is Frankie McDonald. My Instagram is Frankie McD 1984. My TikTok is Frank Down 1984. My Clapper is Frank Down 1984. My Twitch is Frank Down 1984. My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. And my Snapchat is Drake AMCDON. And my LinkedIn is Frankie McDonald. Best luck to you. I'm Frank Down. You listen to Joy Only Show every Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Atlantic.
Awesome. Really good show. Really good show, everybody. Thanks for coming in and helping us fill in for the Brandon. And hey, two people I got to thank. You might not realize, but they're upstairs right now playing Sonic the Hedgehog very quietly because when they're home and Dad's doing a podcast, they know that keep quiet. And if they're good for that hour and a half, then we'll watch the new Godzilla episodes and have popcorn and candy.
Wait. Hold on. Godzilla episodes? Is there a series, a Godzilla series?
Yeah, there is.
We'll
tell you all about it next week. Bye, Frankie.
Godzilla series that you didn't tell me.
We're at it all at the light show.
Really, eh? Last night for you?
Yep. Checking out. Going home. At least for the weekend. Have you ever gone?
Wow. We can't even say things. Wow. What an intense show. And you can start seeing it back here now, right? That next line's starting to flash. So that's funny, the one I thought that was coming next totally is going the other way now. Yep. This next line's here.